What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. We're going to be talking about a few different horror topics in this video here today. We'll be talking about Scream 8. We'll be talking about Friday the 13th because we got some very big bombshell news about that franchise finally. We'll be talking about Predator Badlands, and we'll be talking about The Strangers Chapter 2. Starting off here with Scream 8, I want to shout out Yufuku for sending this over my way a couple days ago. It was a TikTok in which it appears Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard recently were at a con, and a fan had asked them about the legacy stars and how they're returning in Scream 7. We know that includes Matthew Lillard, David Arquette, Roman Bridger, even though Roman Bridger I wouldn't say is a legacy character. But anyway, they were asked about all those characters coming back. Skeet remained tight-lipped as to how that's going to work. But then if you listen carefully, you can hear Matthew say, are we talking about Scream 7 or Scream 8? Very interesting choice of words from Matthew. Now, you can chalk this up to two things or more if you want to propose some other possibilities, but I only have two. This could be an unintentional confirmation of the 8th film, or he wanted to generate conversation like what I'm doing right now in this video. I think the second one is the likeliest outcome. Granted, he was a cast member, so he has possibly heard rumblings about Scream 8. The only way Scream 8, of course, is going to happen is if Scream 7 is a success at the box office. And at this stage in the game, I don't think Scream 7 is going to be a flop. I just saw that trailer again for Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and I really think, depending on how McKenna Grace is received in that film and what she has going on and how popular that could become, I think that potentially could boost whatever transpires with Scream 7, because McKenna Grace is going to be playing an important character. Well, not an important character, but a supporting character in Scream 7. So if they can generate some type of buzz around Scream 7 from McKenna's performance in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, that's going to help Scream 7 at the box office. But yeah, that was a very interesting choice of words from Matthew that a lot of you caught on to. And again, shout out to Yufuku for sending that my way. What do you guys think about his choice of words? Do you think that's a confirmation that we should probably expect Scream 7 to end on some sort of cliffhanger? Should we expect Scream 8 to be announced well before Scream 7 is even released? Let me know all that down in the comment section below. Now, let's talk about Friday the 13th. Shout out to Hunter Bolding for the great coverage on the Friday the 13th news that dropped over the weekend out at Comic-Con. Also, shout out to Bloody Disgusting for their coverage on it. But we got this look at the new Jason mask, which looks like the Jason Universe version of a Party City mask. I'm not going to lie. It's not very impressive. This mask is going to be enhanced with some good lighting, I'm sure, because exposed like this, it's very unimpressive, very bland, and awful. It looks awful. We got our first look at Sweet Revenge as well, which is a short film that we know was announced in the past. So check that trailer out if you haven't already. It looks fun. It looks like a nice short film. We know that's mostly just a glorified ad, though, for this orchid or some sort of drink, I think, that's coming out. We also found out that Jason Universe has plans for a new movie and game. The game we've heard about before, but almost diehard fans seem to care about at this point, is that movie. The producer at the panel for Horror Inc. said this: I can tell you that a new sequel movie and a new sequel game are at the top of our list. It's where most of our energy is going right now. And I can tell you finally we're in a position to deliver on that. While we're not officially announcing with our partners today, both are coming. They're both in the works and they're both coming. Now, some people, I did see this pop up as a discussion talking point, notice that the individual's body language when talking about this in the footage that was recorded of them seems a bit off. Almost like they don't have confidence that they will be able to make this movie. It's in the works, but it hasn't officially, of course, been greenlit or anything like that, as far as we know. I will say this. I'm not going to hold my breath for that movie because we've gone 16 plus years at this point without Jason Voorhees, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to hold my breath for that movie. I'm going to continue to just look forward to Crystal Lake, because this movie being in the works could easily just fizzle out. It could easily just fizzle out. I'm going to keep my attention on Crystal Lake and just hope that that project lives up to everyone's expectations. And if we don't get a new movie, at least we'll have a competent TV show to add into the mix if you're someone who likes to rewatch and do marathons of that franchise. I'm not going to hold my breath for this new movie. I will say that I look forward to seeing what this new game is like, because I am still a bit upset about what Gun Media had go down with that game. It's very unfortunate. That game was a lot of fun. Now, let's talk about Predator Badlands. Dan Trachtenberg had this to say when asked about Alien vs. Predator, possibly him directing an Alien vs. Predator movie. He said, wouldn't that be nice? I think sometimes people that are dabbling in cinematic universes, there's a seduction to immediately grabbing all your action figures and smashing them together. You know what? At this point, going off of that trailer I saw for Predator Badlands, which really didn't do much to excite me or weaken my interest, it was just like oh yeah, that's a trailer, and then it just didn't move me. I will say this: I'm not going to be shocked if we see a xenomorph. I'm not going to be shocked at all. We already have a Weyland-Yutani android. I think the team up of the Weyland-Yutani android and Dek, which is supposed to be the Yaoja, who is going on its first hunt, I think that team up has potential to be compelling, but the trailer just didn't move me. I also am not going to again be shocked with the Weyland-Yutani android being present. I won't be shocked that we see a xenomorph. They have something in the works as far as like Alien versus Predator, and it seemingly is being set up with Predator Badlands. That's just what it seems like. We're going to see a xenomorph, I bet, in this movie. It's being hidden from all of us. And when the movie comes out, a lot of us will be saying we were right. If we don't get a xenomorph, then we just don't. But his comment leads me to think that, okay, you definitely know something is in the works. You're just not allowed to get all in the nitty gritty of it because it's not time to talk about it. You guys are letting the films that you're making speak for itself. They're working their way up to Alien vs. Predator with Dan Trachtenberg and Fede Alvarez. All I know is that whatever they cook up as a crossover film is definitely going to blow those first two Alien vs. Predator movies out of the water. Now let's conclude this by talking about The Strangers Chapter 2. Rennie Harlin addressed the reshoots for The Strangers Chapter 2 out at Comic-Con. Shout out again to Bloody Disgusting for their coverage on this. Now, he said it's purely from listening to the audience. The first one came out and we got a lot of feedback from the fans and regular moviegoers. We realized that while we had crafted this 4.5-hour movie that we had broken into 3 chapters, there was definitely room for learning from the audience experience and listening to the fact that the audience was interested in some things that were not explored enough. One of those is the fact that people wanted to know more about the strangers. We are not saying what their names are and where they live and if they like lasagna. That obviously is a joke. But we are showing some glimpses of their history in the movie, which I think deepens those characters, makes them more interesting, but doesn't take anything away from the fact that these are real people. They could be anywhere around us, and the killings are totally random. He went on to then say to be able to go back and explore those things that you couldn't do before and have a little more time with your actors and the visuals that you want to create and the kind of scares you realize really work well and so on, it's an incredible privilege for a director. I don't call it reshoots at all because that's not what it was about. It was about adding and enhancing the experience. I'm not gonna lie, I like his outlook on it, but I'm not really too all that thrilled about exploring anything with the background of these strangers going off of what we just saw in the first film. I don't have a lot of faith that it's going to be satisfying. If you're able to make it ambiguous and not overly explicit as to who they are, where they come from, and let me kind of piece together the puzzle without giving me explicit answers, I can live with that, and I think that's how that should be done. Something just tells me that they're going to give us too much information. I disagree with the fact that it's not going to take away anything from them. The less you know, the scarier it is. I think many of us will agree on that. There's so little that you know about them in the first movie. That's what kind of cements the first movie as being so horrific and iconic as a home invasion film. So you got to be careful what you're doing here when it comes to unpacking these characters, however that may be. Just don't give us any explicit answers all the way through the movie telling us this person is this, that person is that, and they came from here, they came from there. Like, no. Don't do that. Let's just leave that alone. Let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notification so you never miss a video. In the description, I have links to all my social media accounts. I am on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there, of course, to let me know if there are any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.